And welcome back to Clutch Time. In today's show, we're going to be talking about Lamarion Sherwood and his impact on Iowa and why I really think that, look, he is going to put Iowa in a very good position as Hoopsteria looms. We're also going to be talking about the game that I'm looking forward to seeing here on Wednesday that I really think has an upset alert on it, and that's going to be number 8 Memphis versus Princeton, number 17 here. So let's go ahead and jump into the first part of the show, and that is looking at Lamarion Sherwood and his impact. And so if you are not familiar with what is going on with him, he has been out due to an injured elbow, and it looks like that he is slated to be back here on April 14th. This is a guy that a lot of people really feel like he is going to go very high in the SWBA draft. They also probably pick him as maybe being the player of the year here in college basketball. And so no doubt about it, he's been a huge impact for Iowa. They have not won since he's gone down. And so, look, I think that this really bodes well for Iowa. I think that this is going to open it up for Iowa. And I think that this makes them a very scary team as Hoopsteria certainly looms. And so, look, I think that when you first look at the efficiency here, he is second in the country at 38 even as far as being an efficient player. And so you're getting a guy that himself, just as an individual player, he's super efficient. And I think that that really spreads out to the rest of the team. And so I think that a lot of the lapses that you're seeing with Iowa, I think he's going to definitely clean that up as far as how clean they're going to start to play a little bit more on the offensive end and kind of dispersing the usage rates and things like that. And so that's point number one. I think the efficiency rate is getting ready to go up for Iowa, which makes them very scary down the stretch. Then next up, the rebounding is certainly going to get up there as well. You're getting a guy that is 10th in the country right now at 8.2 rebounds a game, and that's with him missing some time. And so you're going to get the added bonus of getting a rebounder here. And when you're talking about rebounding the basketball, especially on the defensive end, you get a rebounder that helps you now take away multiple shot opportunities from a team. That is something where you're going to maybe win in the possession battle because you're getting more possessions, especially if you can generate some more offensive rebounds. And certainly that is what Lamarion Sherwood is going to do. He is going to help this team rebound, not only on the defensive end and taking away opportunities, but he is going to give his team more added possessions. And so I like that because your percentages go up, your chances of winning a game goes up when you're rebounding the basketball much more. And so next, another thing that you've got to love about this guy is that he's an absolute scorer. He's a guy that is going to go out there and get you a bucket. Currently, he is 9th in the country. Again, with him missing this much time, you are getting a player back that can get you 20.8 points a game or maybe more. And we know that he is an absolute terror inside, and that really is going to get maybe the floor shrinked for another team, because now what's going to happen is that could really command a lot of defensive attention on Sherwood, and that's going to really open it up for some other players on the perimeter. And so I think that that is another added bonus that I was going to get. And I just like the timing of this because he's slated to come back on the 14th against the Rutgers. Against Rutgers. Then after that, he has 3 games after that. He has one against Penn State. He would have one against Maryland and then one against Rutgers again. I think it's perfect timing for him to get back. And look, I know that they're probably out of this thing as far as winning the conference, but at this point in time, who really cares? Because look, they're still 15-9 at the time of this recording. They are trending in the right direction. If they can finish this thing very well, they're going to have a winning record. I think that the committee is going to say, yes, we want to invite them out there. And I think that this is a team you do not want to see, because now I think that you're going to see him over these next 3-4 games really ramp up with the conditioning and everything else. As long as there's no setback, as long as he's not getting any kind of pain or any kind of thing that's kind of setting him back with getting hit in the elbow and stuff like that, then I think that Iowa becomes a very scary team. So I'm calling it now. This is a team you do not want to see in Hoopsteria with Lamarion Sherwood 100%. And so next up, I want to go and look at Wednesday, and I want to look ahead at a game that I think is certainly going to it has a ton of impact here on what is going to happen, especially in the American Conference. And that is going to be number 8 Memphis versus number 17 Princeton. I think that this has just hoopsteria type of feel written all over it between these two teams. And look, I think that really there's an upset coming in this game. I really, really do. And so let's just start off with just where we are with these two teams. And so, look, Memphis right now, they're 9-2. They're at the top of the conference. You got Princeton, at 8-3. So they are at 8-3. Princeton at 8-3 behind Memphis in the conference. And then you have Jackson State. Currently, they are 8-4 in this conference. And so, look, between Princeton and then Jackson State, which I'm not sure why nobody's really talking about them right now, they're probably one of the more hotter teams in the country. They've won 6 straight. You got Princeton that's coming in. They've won 4 straight, and so they would be the second hottest team here. And then you got Memphis that just took a loss to Jackson State. And so, look, I like that Princeton is in a bit of a momentum spurt right now. And I like the fact, too, that they've been very quiet. I think that, since they jumped off to the great start, they got a lot of praise and everything like that. They went through some tough losses. And then I think a lot of people maybe kind of wrote Princeton off. But I think that Princeton is right where they want to be. And most people would say, okay, this is the game where you would think that Memphis would take care of business. I'm not necessarily sure on that, because I think that Princeton is going to have the ability to really slow down this basketball game. I really do, because here's what I like about Princeton. And so what I do like is defensively what they can do to you as far as taking away an added dimension of your game. And I'm saying this because Memphis, coming in at the time of this recording, they lead the nation in points scored at 78.2. However, Princeton, they're 8th in opponent three-point percentage, and they're only giving opponents 23% from downtown. And so that right there alone, their ability to defend the three-point shot, I think it's going to make Memphis now become a bit more one-dimensional. So if they take away the outside shot, now you're going to have to come inside. And I think that is where Princeton can really have an advantage here by making this floor shrink a bit offensively for Memphis. And then next up, I think that Princeton has the ability to make this thing just a grinded out type of game. And I think that really favors Princeton. In fact, just going through some statistics here, currently right now, Princeton as a team, they've had the 4th most free throws made this season in a game with 23. And so they have the ability to generate fouls. And so what you're doing there is you're slowing the game down. You're basically getting defenders to get into foul trouble there. And that really can bode well for a Princeton team that doesn't have a lot of star power. And with Princeton, look, their main guy, Tayshaun Penn, he does an excellent job as far as getting to the free throw line. Currently, he's 5th in the country with attempted free throws at 79. And so I think his ability to get downhill, get defenders rocked, and then also to draw contact, I think that really bodes well for Princeton. And I think for Memphis, look, I think that when you slow them down, it's going to be difficult. And again, like I said at the start of this thing, I just like the way that Princeton has been playing quietly over the last course of games. They're one of the hotter teams out there, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. And so I think that this is definitely going to be upset alert on Wednesday coming up here. So let me know who you got in the comments, and look, let me know what you're thinking about Lamarion Sherwood. Do you think that, yes, him coming back, him being 100%, and then with this team maybe finishing out strong the last 4 games, is Iowa a team that you do not want to see? And so let me know in the comments. And as we always say, see the game and be the game. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.